Today we continue with our class Shabbos Kitchen. Today's class number 15. And we start with Sefer Shmiras HaLashon, and the topic trust in HaShem. In developing the quality of Shmiras HaLashon, one must strive to forever strengthen himself in a matter of bitachon, trust in God. Bitachon is a sacred and vital component of divine service as the whole, and crucial for a proper observance of the laws of Shmiras HaLashon. Okay. So let's try to understand what they say here. So one more time, and we're going to explain. The developing of the quality of Shmiras HaLashon, meaning guarding our tongue, right? One must strive to forever strengthen himself in matter of bitachon, trust in God. Bitachon is a sacred, vital component of divine service, as and crucial and proper observance of law Shmiras HaLashon. So basically, one second. So without bitachon, so bitachon is a trust in God that He knows exactly what He's doing. So many times people speak Lashon Hara because they're jealous of somebody, right? So why he got or she got something and I did not. Yeah, so that's how this Lashon Hara develops, right? But if person knows that everything comes from HaShem, whatever he gets, it's not in my expense. Whatever she gets, it's not like not in my expense. So people would have like less reasons to speak Lashon Hara. Okay, for example, let us suppose that someone does something to slight someone else's honor or affect his livelihood in some way. That's a good example. The victim's heart burns with a strong desire to make known the wrong done to him. Right? Whatever they did to me, whatever they insult me. Okay. He finds it difficult to quell this desire. Of course. I mean, somebody is wrong you for sure. Right? And you lost the job or partners. I mean, whatever you lost, right? So you want to tell everybody what happened. Then he begins to reflect upon the sage's teaching that no one can affect that which has been divinely ordained for his fellow, be it financial gain or mark of honor, even by hair breadth. Okay, Yom Torah 8:8. His desire quelled. So basically, a person has this bitachon, right? And he believes that everything, as we say, comes from HaShem. And it was decided on Rosh Hashanah how much I'm going to make. So this person, whatever he did, he's not deciding factor. HaShem is. So even if I'm going to lose here, doesn't matter. HaShem is going to recompense me. Whatever I was supposed to make, I'm going to make, right? Or just because he disrespects me, so it does not mean that I'm going to lose something. Like I was learning with Rabbi Reuven just 15 minutes ago, and he said, and he told me a very interesting story. Right? He said this story that he never removes. I have to learn from him sometime. No, not sometimes, all the time, Rabbi Reuven, but this one is new, right, for me. So he said that he never removed the negative comment, like a negative personal comment against him personally, right? People make fun of him, they offend them in other ways, different ways. But he said, I never remove it, so let it be my my tikkun, right? My correction in this world. And plus, like let's Hashem see that I'm not doing it for honor, I'm doing it for because it is true. Right, and he said that these clowns, they actually added him to a list, to the, what is it, not list, WhatsApp group, and the whole group is all of the clowns. They created a special group to make fun of Rabbi Reuven, and they have audacity to add him to this group. And he said, I know, like he's very interested in individual. This was HaShem, right? So he said that. Of course, people are crazy, and he said, "I'd like to learn the language of the crazy people." Shlomo HaMelech he knew all of the languages of the world, different nations, and he knew the language of the animals, right? The language of the angels, I think, language of the babies, and language of the crazy people. So Rabbi Reuven Shlita said, okay, maybe I'm going to read whatever they say. Maybe I'm going to learn the language of the crazy people. Right? He said it's very interesting. Okay, let me meet this person. He said it's very interesting. So that one person from the group, while they insult him, right? So one person from the group, he said, actually, they were discussing one of the clips, Rabbi Reuven Shlita, right? And he went and watched the whole clip from the beginning to the end, and said to these people, actually, it makes sense. Whatever this person who you insulting to is saying, it makes perfect sense. So everybody started insulting him, right? This guy. And this guy said, you know what, let me watch a few other movies and you're losers and goodbye, basically. And he started watching the movies and he contacted Rabbi Reuven Shlita. And after he had a few questions, serious question, how is it possible that only Rabbi Reuven Shlita mentioned punishment and other people don't? So maybe he's wrong. And it took only a few minutes. Just show the verses from the Torah, from Dvarim, from other places, that HaShem is not joking when he was writing the Torah, that he was very, very serious about us performing all the mitzvahs. And this person became very close Talmid, but it came from the other side, right? From him not to delete in all of these insulting messages and leave them there. Very interesting. And being joining the group of all of these crazy people, and listening to what they have to say. It's very interesting, right? So that's what exactly Chofetz Chaim is saying here. David said, trust in HaShem and do good, right? That you may dwell in the land and nourish yourself with a faithfulness. Okay, it's from Tehillim 37:3. David first exhorted us to trust in HaShem and only then to do good. For divine trust is a solid foundation upon which any good endeavor should be established. So let's read this one more time. It's very interesting. I'm going to explain what it means. So David said, David HaMelech, trust in HaShem and do good. So first comes trust, right, and do good. So meaning if you don't trust in HaShem, you would not do as good, right? Because you would be thinking that if I want to give tzedakah, but how come? Maybe I'm not going to have enough. Stuff like that, right? So Hashem said, trust in me, good, then good, do good. So this good after trusting Hashem is different good without trusting to Hashem. And he continues, and that you may dwell in a land and nourish yourself with faithfulness. Okay, so. Right? So meaning trust in Hashem, do good, and it's going to be good for you. David first exhorted us to trust in Hashem and only then to do good. For divine trust is solid foundation upon which any good endeavors should be established. So why we do good, whatever good according to Hashem, right? It's only according to His Torah, and why we do good, because we trust in Hashem. Okay, we stop here. Okay, we continue today with our class Shabbos Kitchen, and we're still on the same Melacha. I think it's third lecture, fourth lecture, I don't remember. And Melacha is sorting, right? So now we're going to, so we did all of the details. Now we're going to sorting of utensils. So in chapter number 10 and page 160, it says Borer utensils. Borer is a sorting. 8. Sorting instruments. The following is a practical list of specialized sorting instruments, right, which may never be used on Shabbos for sorting, even in the instance which Borer is permitted. Okay, so as just to remind us, because it's been some time. So we said that there are three conditions, right? In order to for a sorting to be allowed. And what is the sorting, right? It's separation good from the waste, food from the waste. So food is something that you want, and waste is something that you don't want. So waste is not necessarily something bad like that you have to throw out, right? It could be part that you don't want at this moment. And food is something that you want for this moment. And it could be food, or could be utensils, or could be any other things. Okay. And it's first thing, just and second thing we said, we're allowed to remove, right? To separate good from bad. Three conditions: good from bad. With your hand. With your hand, we said means no special utensil, right? Specialized, I would say specialized utensil, not special, specialized utensil. And a third for immediate use. Okay. So now we say those instruments never allowed. Meaning we're talking about point number 2 with your hand. So what is not what is excluded with your hand? Number 1, sieve. Okay. Number 2, strainer. Number 3, colander. Number 4, spotted spoon, right? With a spotted with holes, right? Number 5, apple corer, and number 6, peeler. Okay. So all right, it's very interesting. So halachic utensil for barer. According to halacha, the following 4 utensils, although not sorting utensil per se, but consider utensils for barer. Okay. Barer is separated. Number 1, cloth, cloth net used for squeezing a lemon. Okay, so usually people use like cheesecloth, and they want to squeeze the lemon and keep all of the pulp and all the pits in the cloth. Okay, that's the problem. Many times when certain fish, a slice of lemon is placed in a cloth net to prevent the pits from falling into the fish. When squeezing the lemon, the cloth net serves as an instrument which helps to separate the juice from the pits, and therefore it's forbidden to use it for this purpose on Shabbos. See chapter 9, next chapter, for the proper methods of squeezing lemon. Right. So let's try to understand what it says here. So here, on one hand, we fulfill the first condition. Right. We said first condition was that we separate good from bad. And that's exactly what I want to do when I squeeze the lemon and keep the pits out. So I separate good with which is food, not good. They call it food. Food meaning lemon juice. I squeeze and keep all of the pulps and all the pits away. Right. So on one hand, it looks like it could be permitted, and it is permitted. As we're going to learn in some cases, but not with a cloth, not cloth. Okay, because in this case it's a specialized instrument. Continue. Number 2, salt shaker containing rice. One may not use a salt shaker that contains rice to absorb moisture, because the spotted cup is considered a utensil that prevents the rice from escaping, thus separating the salt from the rice. That's a very interesting thing. So many people, and also in my house, that's what we do, but it's only weekdays salt shaker. We have Shabbos one and we have a weekday one. So we put rice inside. Why? Because when it's humid, especially in the summer, it's very humid. So the salt has become wet, right, from humidity, and you cannot shake it off the salt shaker, right? But if you put rice inside, so rice would absorb this moisture, and no problem, you can use the salt. But what what is happening that this cup, right, of the salt shaker has like little holes, and these holes, they prevent rice from escaping, meaning that you separate good in this food, meaning salt, from bad, from waste. They call it waste meaning what you don't want, meaning the rice, and you use a special utensil meaning this salt shaker cup. So this is not allowed. So number 3, pot cover. It is forbidden to hold a pot cover close to the side of the pot, leaving a gap that is just sufficient to allow the liquid, for example, soup, through, while retaining the solid parts, for example, noodle or vegetables or chicken pieces. In this case, the pot cover is considered certain utensil. However, one may put one's hand over the pot, and thereby allowing the liquid to be poured off, while the solids are held back. Okay. So another case that we're talking about is we have a pot of soup. Okay. So you have a pot of soup, right? And from this pot, you only want liquid, right? Only broth, right? But in this pot, you have noodles and you have vegetables and chicken, whatever you have there, right? But you only want drink. Only want to drink this hot drink. Okay. So what you do, you put the lid, right, on top of the pot, and you leave a little gap, a little one, so only the liquid would come out. So this is considered to be as you created this special utensil, so would not be allowed. Okay, because you're separating good, which is liquid, from waste, even though it's not waste, it's we halachically call it waste, right? These solid pieces. But you're using specialized utensil, that's why it is not permitted. So as the author is saying that you can use your hand. Okay, nobody's going to use his hand. You're going to soil your hands, and especially if somebody else is going to eat with you, now that's how you handle food. It's a little disgusting, I would say. But you can use he says hand, but I would say you can use a regular spoon, right, or regular fork to keep all of these pieces back, okay, from escaping. Okay, so that was number 3. Number 4, one may not squeeze a tea bag, right, whether it is in or out of the liquid, to extract essence. This is because the bag is considered an instrument in separating the essence from the tea bag. When removing the tea bag from the essence, it is preferable to use spoon to remove the bag. Right? It is if no spoon is available, one may remove the bag quickly, without intent of having essence drops from the bag into the liquid. See chapter 3, guide in making tea on Shabbos. So of course, as we said before, one second, let me see continuation. I don't know. As we said before, we don't make tea on Shabbos. There is one of the prohibitions, right? According to Sephardi custom, they can do it in a second or third vessel. I say to be on a safe side in a third vessel, meaning from a water urn, you put in one cup, and then from that cup you put in a tea bag. But according to Ashkenazi tradition, absolutely not. We don't do that. Right? So what tea bag he is talking about? So tea bag that he's talking about, this rabbi, is from tea essence. So we can prepare the tea essence before. You can have the teapot, this ceramic pot, right? And you could put a lot of tea leaves or bags, like, I don't know, 5 bags, let's say, tea bags and put hot water, boiling water. So the liquid would be very concentrated, right? And when you want to make tea on Shabbos, so you add a little tea essence because it's very strong, very concentrated, and mostly water. So in this case, there is no problem, right? But still, he said that there are tea bags inside, right? Let's say you're using tea bags, right? So tea bags inside, so you're not allowed to squeeze them. Why are you not allowed to squeeze them? Because it would be you separate good from bad. Good meaning tea essence, right? Inside, the trap inside. From bad, from leaves. You don't want leaves, right? Tea leaves, and you use special utensils. So what is a special utensil? The special utensil is the tea bag. So why is it special utensil? It gives off only the essence, the liquid, and keeps all of this particle in, right? So they say if you want to remove the tea bag, I'm not sure why. I mean, it's a different story, but okay, let's say they need to do that. So they say remove it with a spoon, right? So it would not squeeze, even by the weight. If you pick up the tea bag from your cup, it's going to drip, right? It's going to drip back in your cup. Meaning what? Meaning by weight, it's going to squeeze some liquid out. So he said, take a spoon under the tea bag and throw it out, or do whatever. Throw out. It's a muktzah. Don't play with that. Or he said you can do it quickly, right? With intention. I don't want this liquid, whatever. I just don't have spoon. I want to throw out, and that's it. Okay. Any questions on what we said so far? Okay. If not, we continue. Okay, so part number 11, and topic is borer applications regarding produce. Okay, 8 general rules from fruits and vegetables. Okay, so until now we were talking about all of the general things, general application, but now we're going into like more practical applications, I guess, right? In this at least last 3 chapters. So A, general rules for fruits and vegetables. A, brushed parts. Bruised part. Okay. According to many poskim, it is forbidden to remove the bruised part of a fruit. Rather, one should remove the ripe part and eat it, or remove the bruised part with a good part surrounding it. Okay, so So let's understand what it says. So you have apple, right? And on one hand, on one side of this apple, it's a little bruise. What does it mean, bruise? It was like it hit somewhere. It become like a brownish, right? Some people don't like to eat it, or it becomes too brownish, I guess. So when we were buying fruit, we didn't notice, right? It was from another side. So usually when people put on a showcase these apples or whatever, any fruit, they put to the more presentable side toward you, of course. So you didn't look from all of the sides. It was a bruise. Okay, so what to do? So there are at least two solutions. The straightforward solution, as we were speaking from the beginning of this Melacha, so we said remove good from bad. So eat everything, eat the whole apple and leave whatever this bruised part behind. That's it, right? On one hand, on another hand, I would say if it's only on the surface, why should you waste a big piece of apple, right? So okay, so the solution is here. Second solution is remove this bruise with a little of a good apple. So cut a little with good apple, so it's not going to be separation. Why? Because it is mixed, good with bad. So it's never borer, it's never sorting. Okay. So part number 2. So bruise parts, and number 2, remove a sticker or the stem. That's the issue, right? Mm-hmm. Likewise, it is forbidden to remove a sticker from a fruit. Rather, one should remove the sticker together with some of the fruit. It is permitted, though, to remove the stem from the fruit, for example, apple, provided it's done immediately prior to eating the fruit. Okay, so let's try to understand what, not understand, it's straightforward. Let's try to explain what it says. So here, we're talking about two separate situations. One, you have an apple and you have a like sticker, is a like number, serial number, whatever it is, right? The price. So we're not allowed to separate because for sure the sticker is a waste, right? You don't want to eat the sticker, and fruit is good. So we said we're not in most of the cases you're not allowed to separate bad from good, right? So they say the solution is cut if you're on apples, cut the sticker with a little bit of skin of apple, and there is no problem. So you separate in bad with good, no problem. Okay, that's easy. But second one is a stem. So a stem is a thing that sticks from a fruit, connects to the tree, right? I'm not sure. So some people, it bothers, I guess it bothers some people. I never remove it. I mean, me personally, I just eat with I don't eat stem. I mean, still you will leave some apple around it. But if person wants to remove stem, right, for whatever reason, bothers him, does not like, whatever, right, so he can remove it right before eating. So we said in some cases when there is no other way, right, so we can remove right before eating. Okay. Okay, so number 3, removing dirt. A fruit or vegetable that has a dirt on it may be wiped or rinsed for immediate use. However, it may not be placed in a bowl of water so that the dirt rises to the top or falls to the bottom. Okay, so that's the thing. It's very interesting. So we have to be very careful. It's better if possible. As we said before, it's proper and possible to wash everything before Shabbos starts. But sometimes it's not practical and it's going to spoil this and that. Okay, everything is okay. We understand that. So in this case, they say, for example, you have this dirt, right? I would say not even dirt. You have an apple that you did not wash. It's in your refrigerator. You brought it from the store. Of course, there is some, maybe not dirt, but at least dust, right? The thing that you don't want to eat with, right? So they say don't put it in a bowl of water. Why? Because this dust is going to be removed, right? So you remove bad dust from good from the fruit, but you always allowed to rinse the food before you eat. So it's a normal way of handling things. Okay. Okay. Number 4. Great cluster. So today, many people use veggie wash, and it's very, very, very recommended. They have kosher veggie wash. It's to remove all of the chemicals that they spray the vegetable with, right? And many of these chemicals, they're not kosher. Just so you know, not kosher. And even if they are only minute amount, but we try not to consume anything not kosher. Right, and for apples and other vegetables, sometimes they have wax on them. Also, this wax is not kosher, right? So we have to remove it. So there is special like spray. So of course, if you use the spray, you're not allowed to use it in Shabbat. So do it before Shabbos, because it's going to dissolve all of this chemicals. Not good. Some people use just dishwash. Dishwash, just make sure if you, do whatever you want. You can use a dishwash. I'm talking about general, not Shabbos, but make sure that it's kosher. There is an OU sign on many of them, not all of them, but on many of them. Okay. Number 4, grape clusters. If there are some spoiled grapes on a cluster, one must select fresh grapes for immediate use. Okay, so we spoke about it a few times, but here Rabbi put everything in one place. Okay, 1 second. Somebody else is joining. 1 second. Okay, so we spoke about the grapes, but class of grape. But let's just to remind ourselves what we said. So we said so as the first condition that allows us to separate good from bad and we get bad from good. So we said what? Only good from bad, if there is such a choice, right? So what does it mean, such a choice? If you want to eat orange, there is no such a choice, right? You have to separate the peel from the fruit. So, but if there is such a choice, you must do only good from bad. Meaning what? Meaning you have a few spoiled grapes in a cluster. Okay, so you eat fresh, good grapes and leave the spoiled one behind. That's it. That's the thing. Okay. Number 5. Different types / colors. Cortland, red, or another type of red apple. Golden delicious, yellow, or Granny Smith, green, are considered different types of apples, and therefore the law of Barer apply if they are combined in a mixture. Okay, so it's very interesting. So we said before that size does not matter, right? So some apples or whatever, some pieces of meat, some of them a little bigger, some of them a little smaller, that does not matter. But the types, as they say, types / colors do matter, because all of these apples that he just listed for us, they have different tastes. It's not only color. Color maybe it's irrelevant if it's I don't know if it's cookie. One is green, one is yellow. They have the same taste because color usually don't have taste, right? But here it's for sure. All of these different apples have different tastes. So if I want to eat only golden delicious, right? So meaning that all other types of apples is something that I don't want to eat, meaning it's halakhically it's waste for me, right? So meaning what? That in some instances it would be mixed, and I would not be allowed to move other type of apples to get to what I want. Okay, there are ways to get to it, but we're going to learn. Continue. Part B. So that's the most asked one from my experience. Pits and seeds in the fruits, right? So they're not edible, and most of the time they're muktzah, right? So what do we do? Okay, the two methods. There are basically two methods employed when eating fruit and vegetables with the seeds or pits. And it is important to know which methods is used for which fruit and vegetables. Okay, so for example, we're talking about watermelon or cantaloupe, right? Or we have, I don't know, even sometimes grapes with the seeds and other fruits, right, with seeds. Okay, so what do we do? Method 1. If the normal practice is to eat fruit or vegetables and spit out the pit or seed from one's mouth, removing the seed and pit prior to eating is forbidden. So I guess it's based, as we discussed before, especially when we learn Kitzur. So Kitzur Shulchan Aruch told us clearly if you're just 1 second, let me think about it. So we said that very clearly. If your behavior is disgusting to somebody, so this food becomes forbidden, like it's not kosher. Right? So basically, if somebody is spitting, and I saw it, some people eat and like they sit around the table, some culture, I'm not going to say which one, and they spit the chicken bones and stuff in their plate, and they continue talking, laugh. So it's for me, it's very disgusting, very, very disgusting, right? But for them, it's normal. So they say if it's normal for them, that's how they must do, right? That so in this culture, would not be allowed to remove the pits before they start eat, right? in case of the needs, for example, a small child or elderly person, one may remove the seeds or pits before putting fruit into one's mouth. Okay, so that's the thing, right? As we spoke before, and just to remind us, right? So we said about fish, right? So you have this fish, and it has bones, right? So you would be afraid to give it to a child, a little child, and she's going to swallow it, and it's going to create a big issue, or elderly person, right? So we said it is allowed to remove. So you took with a fork, right, some like piece of fish, and before you feed it to a child or an elderly person, you're allowed to remove the bones, meaning waste from food, and give it to a child for sure. That's the thing. Okay. Okay, so that's methods one. So let me just to summarize. So we said if you practice to spit out, right? I guess for watermelon, it's more common. I mean, to spit out from your mouth, and then not to remove one pit at a time. So today most of them are seedless, but okay, we're talking about olden days, I guess. Okay, so that's the thing. Or in case of the need, as they say, in case of the danger for small children, for elderly, so we can remove right before we feed them, right, the seeds. And okay, but baby also, she's going to swallow this pit, and that's it. Right? Would create a lot of issues. Okay, continue. Method two. If the normal practice of eating the fruit or vegetable is to remove the seed or pit before eating, many poskim rule that it is permitted if it is removed in a time frame that would consider immediately before eating. See page 136. Let me see continuation. Okay, no continuation, so we're going to explain. So they say if it's normal practice eating fruit or vegetables is to remove the seed or pit before eating. So I would say maybe what would be a good example, maybe avocado, right, or cantaloupe. So you cut it in half, and you take a spoon, right, and you remove all of the seeds. That's how people eat. Nobody is going to stop the cantaloupe with all of these seeds inside, right? It's not proper. That's not how people do. So what you do, you remove the seeds with little of the vegetable itself, right? So in this case, there is no actual separation, but usually people do it as Rabbi is saying before before the food is served. So okay, and second thing he said. Before the meal, immediately before the meal. So immediately before the meal, as we learned before, it's a third condition that allows us to separate. And we said the definition of immediately before the meal means as much time as you need for preparation of the whole meal. So as we said before, for example, if you have a big company, right, over, and you need 2 hours to prepare for kiddush, for the meal, right? Possible. You have 20 people coming. You have a lot of salads to chop and other things, right? You have to prepare. So these 2 hours, it would be immediately before the meal, right? So of course, a person should not have any like a breaks, meaning not that he's resting, but he wants to go to the shul, he wants to learn a little. No, that's would be invalid. So it's like all of the preparation, whatever he needs for the meal. And even though he can do this cantaloupe in, 5 minutes before they come, anyway, he's allowed or she's allowed to do it as any time in this time frame, starting 2 hours or whatever, half an hour, 5 hours, whatever they need to prepare the complete meal. Okay, continue. Applying the two methods. Number one, fruits and vegetables belonging to the method one. Okay. Following are some examples of fruit and vegetables belong to the method one. Right? Method one meaning to spit out the seeds, right? Apples, right? Apples. Usually people don't eat like so like to the core of the apple usually, but some people do, I guess. Oranges. So that sometimes in oranges you have this pits, right? Tangerines also sometimes. Grapes for sure. Pears, olives, and olives for sure you have pits. Okay. Peaches. Seeds may not be removed from these fruits and vegetables prior to eating. So meaning that since the normal way of people to remove while you're when you're eating, not before. So just we follow this pattern. Right, so I guess you use a napkin and remove it from your mouth with napkin, not with your hands, of course. Number 2, fruits and vegetables belonging to the method 2. The following fruits belong to the method 2, and therefore, according to many paskim, their seeds may be removed immediately prior to eating. Honeydew, right, as the word cantaloupe, right, as we said, a watermelon and avocado. I'm not sure about watermelon. These seeds are scattered around. I'm not sure how they would do it, but okay, that's what it says. Okay, avocado also, like nobody spits out the avocado seed, right? So you usually we remove before and make a salad or cut in slices, and that's how it is served. So of course we remove before. Cantaloupe, honeydew, okay. Continue. So in all of these examples, we can remove before when we prepare the meal. Some poskim rule that watermelon belongs to the fruits of method 2, while other poskim rule that belongs to method 1. That's what it looks to me like it's method 1, not method 2, meaning that you have to spit out. But people usually spit out. Therefore, if possible, one should follow the most stringent view and not remove the seeds before placing the fruit in one's mouth. Okay, but as we said today, maybe it's easier for us because most of them are seedless. Okay. Okay, C. Inspecting fruit for insects. That's another thing. As we said, you have to be very careful, especially with all of the lettuce things, all of the cabbages, all of the broccoli, cauliflower. So we must be very, very careful. If a person does not know how to check, or he or she knows that they're not going to be careful, would be annoying to check, so better not to eat them, period. For sure, because they're insects, and we wash very carefully. And sometimes, from time to time, I'm the one who inspects all the things. So it does not bother me because I'm listening to the class, right? To the Shiur of Rabbi Reuven. So I listen to the class and I inspect the fruits. It's it takes some time, so I don't mind basically because it is a mitzvah. So basically, don't ever look at it that it's like a waste of time or something. You're doing mitzvah to not to eat these insects, right? So okay. So one more time, if you do not know, don't eat these things. If you do not know how to check, don't eat. Because for sure there are insects, for sure, guaranteed. C, inspecting fruit for insects. When eating a fruit that needs inspection for insects, one is permitted to remove the pit prior to eating in order to check the fruit. Okay. Okay, continue. D, peeling fruits and vegetables. Number 1, not edible peels, which are always removed. Okay, so as we were discussing before, some fruits and vegetables you must peel, and some of them it's optional whether you're going to peel or not. For example, I would say like cucumbers. Some people peel them, some people eat like that with the skin. With some of them the skin is soft, and some of them it's very like rough, so it's better to remove it. Okay. Okay, so in this case, as we said before, there is no other way. You have to remove bad from good. There are those exceptions. There is no other way. So let's see. peeling fruits and vegetables. Number one, are non-edible peels, which are always removed, like oranges, right? It is permitted to peel all fruits and vegetables for immediate use as long as one uses knife. Okay, so as we said before, special utensils are never allowed. Special utensil is a peeler, never allowed. But knife is not special utensil. Maybe you can cut as thin or close as thin as you would do with a peeler, but still knife was designed to cut, not to peel. Even though you can peel, but it's not its main purpose. Okay, this is true even though the peel are never eaten. Okay, examples would be onions. Okay, garlic, garlic cloves, oranges, grapefruits, and cantaloupes. Okay, so you can peel them, no problem. Okay, with a knife, as they say. Okay. Number two. So number one was non-edible peels, which are always removed, and number two, peels that are almost never removed. What does it mean? Let's see. Fruits and vegetables whose peels are almost never removed may be peeled even for later use, since the peel and the food are considered the same item. The following are some example: grapes, tomatoes, peppers, peaches, and plums. So it's very interesting. So most of the people eat grapes with the skin, but not all of them. And I know a few people never eat grapes because they have very, very sensitive gums, I think. That's the reason. So they cannot chew this skin. Okay, doesn't matter. And same with tomatoes. Also, they would peel tomatoes. Peppers, okay, peppers also. Sometimes it's very thick skin, right? Peaches also for the same reason, and plums. So more. So just 1 second. So those are examples. So one more time, and we're going to explain. Fruits and vegetables, sorry, whose peels are almost never removed, like for all other people, may be peeled even for later use, since the peel and the food are considered the same item. I'm not sure why he's saying that, because we said before, but for him, this person is not going to eat it. So, for example, if I want to peel this tomato, even though I always eat tomato with the skin, so for me, maybe I want to eat the tomato skin later. But for this person, it's for sure it's a waste, I guess. Or, I mean, maybe the only explanation for this is that that person is going to eat this grape skins later for whatever reason. I'm not sure what is it, but he's going to eat them later, and tomato skins. Otherwise, it does not make sense. That's not what we said. We said if person does not like some part of the of the food, so it is waste for him. For example, we said that chicken skin, right? He does not want to eat skin or fat, meat fat, right? So fat for him, I mean, some people eat fat. I mean, it's not forbidden to eat fat, whatever. I'm not sure if it's good for your cholesterol, but let's say somebody wants to eat fat and it's healthy for him, let's say, so he can eat fat. But other person said it's a killer, it's poison, this and that. So for him, it's he's not would be allowed to remove just fat from the meat. Would not be allowed, as we learned before. So there are two methods. So he would need to remove the fat and leave a little piece of fat attached to the meat, or remove fat and a little sleeve of meat together. So in this case, it would be a combination. So based on what we said before, I guess that this person is going to eat skins later. That's my explanation. Okay. So number 3, peels that are sometimes removed. Okay. There is a dispute among the authorities regarding peeling fruits or vegetables whose peels are generally not removed, but at times removed. Okay, so let's see. Does the prohibition barrier apply, thereby allowing peeling only for immediate use? For example, an example would be apples and pears, or Persian or Kirby cucumbers, right? As we said, these cucumbers, Persian cucumber, mostly that the skin is soft. Kirby is not always, right? So some people would peel, some people would not. Let's see. The answer is that it is best to be stringent. So meaning you want to peel it, there is no problem, but do it for immediate use. In a previous case, we said he can do it even before he wants to eat in advance. There is no problem. Here they say, since there is some people say yes, some great rabbis said yes, some other great rabbis say no. So they say, okay, do it only for immediate use. In the case of meat, one may rely on the lenient view and peel them even when they are not to be eaten immediately. Okay, I'm not sure why, but okay, I mean, the different life situations. Okay, so we're not going to judge anybody. So one more time, it's proper to do everything for immediate use. It's even better to do it before Shabbos starts, but in many instances, you want to eat something fresh. Fresh salads, of course, it's much tastier than salads from before Shabbos, of course, right? As we understand. Okay. Number 4, peeling half of the fruit or vegetables. It is permitted to remove the entire peel from the fruit or vegetables. That is generally peeled completely before eating. For example, one may peel the entire orange, even though he's eating only half of it in the present time. Very interesting. Since it is no longer practice to peel the entire orange before eating it. Doing so is considered normal part of the eating process. Okay, so it's very interesting case, right? So a person wants to eat only half of the orange, and second half he wants to save for later. No problem. So he's allowed to peel the whole orange, even though that he's not going to eat second part for now, right? Which means that second part was not for immediate use, right? So okay. So let's say no problem, because that's what we do. Or no way. Wow. This halacha never ends. No, okay. Continue. However, food items that one only peels the amount he plans to eat at the present time may not be peeled entirely. For example, so it's okay. So we're going to. I mean, it's part of this case, same case, right? For example, if only a few slices of cucumber are to be eaten now, the cucumber may not be peeled in its entirety. Okay. Similarly, if only part of the sausage is to be eaten in this time, only the part that is eaten now may be peeled off of the plastic wrapper. The same would apply to cantaloupe or honeydew. If one is eating only half of it now, he must cut it in half, and only to remove the peel from the half he's going to eat now. So let's try to understand. First of all, we just said on the previous page, we said the example with the orange, since it's normal to peel the whole orange, even though he knows that he is not going to eat the whole orange right now. That's his intention. Second part is going to be eaten, let's say in the afternoon. Let's say he's going to put it in a container, close with the lid, put it in the refrigerator. No problem. It's going to stay fresh. So let's try to understand second part of this halacha. What is the difference? However, food item that only peeled the amount he plans to eat at the present time may not be peeled entirely. For example, only a few slices of cucumber are to be eaten now. The cucumber may not be peeled in its entirety. I'm not sure how big is cucumber. Maybe they're talking about these huge cucumbers and they need only small salad, right? So they want to cut only half. That's my explanation, because like cucumbers are like this. What is like? Why would you divide unless it's a tiny salad? I guess, right? So let's say we're talking about these big cucumbers, right? So and he's going to eat only now, and now only like half or even 1/3. It's a huge one, because there are some other vegetables. So in this case, we don't allow him to peel the whole cucumber. That's what we usually do during the week, right? So if you, of course, in a natural skin, the vegetable would be preserved better, right? That's for sure. Any vegetable, fruit or vegetables. So that's why we usually don't peel. So you cut as much as you need. You put it in a plastic, and the rest you peel and cut it for a salad. Okay. So in this case, he said, you're not allowed to peel completely. Okay. Similarly, if only part of the sausage is to be eaten at this time, only the part to be eaten now may be peeled off in a plastic wrapper. So sausage, I guess it's much bigger. So he wants to only half or 1/3. So okay, let's say cut, and then you can cut off whatever piece you want to eat. Then remove the plastic. The same would apply to the cantaloupe and honeydew. Of course, I mean, usually people don't eat that much. So if you want to eat only half or a quarter, so you first you cut in a half, create quarter, whatever you do, and then then you peel only whatever you're going to eat. Okay. Continue. Shell and nuts. Okay, so as we asked some time ago if it's allowed to eat nuts. Shabbos, so he said absolutely you can eat nuts, enjoy yourself, no problem, right? Nuts may be shelled only for immediate use, and a nutcracker may be utilized. So nutcracker in this case is not, even though it is a specialized utensils, but it's the only way to open up some nuts, right? There is no other way. Right, like I would say, like Brazilian nuts, right? You need this nutcracker. You cannot cut it with anything else, like open up. After shelling, one may not sort the shells from the nuts, but must select the nuts themselves. See chapter 28 regarding muktzah for peels, pits, seeds, and shells. So muktzah, we're going to get to the muktzah. We're 20 chapters away from muktzah. But to understand what it says here, muktzah is some halakhic term for the things that have no use on Shabbos, right? No use of Shabbos on Shabbos. So these shells are not edible. So if for example you peel your cucumber. So cucumber is edible. This peel is edible. So if you want to eat, hungry people would eat. If they have animals, animals would eat. No problem, right? So it's not exactly waste, right? It's not exactly muktzah. So some people would eat in case of the need, or animals would eat. But nuts, nobody is going to eat this. Nutshells, right? That's the issue. So they say and they're waste, right? Halachically waste, and of course waste is the normal, regular sense of the word, right? And when we have waste in food, waste is nutshell, and food is not. So we are allowed only to separate good from bad, meaning food from the nutshell. So if we decide to eat nuts on Shabbos, so make sure that you eat over the plate, and preferably like we have some food, leftover food, even a few crumbs of bread or some leftover food, whatever is it. So you would be able to move this plate from the table, right? So because of this food, not because of the nutshells. Otherwise, if you don't have this, in many cases, not always, but in many cases, you would not be allowed to move this plate, For example, if you took a clean plate and you shelled your nuts over the plate, and you ate all of the nuts, only nut shells remain, so you're not, in many cases, you would not be allowed to remove this plate, unless you need it for honor of Shabbos, or well, but otherwise you would not be allowed. Because why? Because it is muktzah, right? But certainly you're allowed to eat nuts on Shabbos. You just have to be very vigilant and very careful how you do that. So we separate only food from waste. Okay, I think the time is up. So yeah, we can stop here. So we still did not finish the chapter. Maybe another class, maybe even 2 classes. It's a lot of material. Okay. Any questions? Or we said we did not say any questions. Okay. If no questions, so until tomorrow, good night. So tomorrow we're going to learn Kitzur Shulchan Aruch Beezrat HaShem. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.